point. I would argue that in the arts, we have accepted a lifestyle of burnout. We do it because, you said this, we love the art that we serve. And love can be joyous and wondrous, but it can be fucking taken advantage of. I'm thinking about all of you, and I think about the work that needs to be done, the systems that need to change, the experiences that we need to catch up with our audiences to deliver. There is a lot to do, and the preservation of your knowledge and your creativity is heavy on my mind. What if we had an initiative that involved a daily dose, a weekly dose for ourselves, for our people, for our artists of art? Second of all, we're empathetic. The number one strength that is needed in leadership today and for the future is empathy. It's empathy. And look out, because Gen Z leaders, they're full of it. They're full of it, and they want it, and they need it, and they demand it. So what if we lead with empathy? And if we got as obsessive about asking our people how they feel, how they're doing, and measuring that with empathy, just like we measure how much is this going to cost, where are subscriptions, where are single tickets? What if we measured with empathy? I think that this industry is poised to lead a turn down on burnout because we are creative. Lastly, I would say we're theatrical, we're dramatic. Look at us. What if we created dramatic, theatrical burnout prevention and recovery plans? We take it as seriously as if somebody has a heart attack. I mean it. So let's be theatrical. Let's bring the thunder to those plans around burnouts. And you all have a lot to offer, and I want to make sure that your well-being is caretaken so that you can do big things.
What I want to make here is that as fanatical as we are about measuring our OKRs and our KPIs and the financial performance of our institutions, we must be, in these times, as fanatical about measuring, and I do mean with quantifiable data, our resilience and our creativity. There are two things through Talent Lab that I've learned about resilience. One is you've got to have a playbook that allows you to access easily in times of crisis. You have to do that in times of peace. The second thing is you've got to take care of your people, and that they are trained and developed and they are rehearsed in how to be resilient. It's like a rehearsal for an artist. We have to rehearse resilience. The things that we looked at to measure resilience and know, are we becoming more resilient, was number one, velocity in decision making. Can we get to decision more quickly than we have in the past? The second was almost like hooking an EKG to our people, particularly our consulting firm. How comfortable, how confident are you in the decision that you're making? So pulse surveying that helps me as the Chief Talent Officer and whomever that person is in our client-based shops understand, okay, you're making quicker decisions, but how confident are you feeling in those decisions? There's also a signal that we look for in, I'll call them the nervous Nellies in our organizations and in our organization. So those people who get sweaty and wring their hands, you can spot them when crisis hits. What is their continence? What is happening with the nervous Nellies when a crisis moment or a big challenge moment happens? What do I see in them? If I see something different that is a little more peaceful, and I have a way of measuring that with adjectives, then I know, okay, we're building resilience. We're building resilience.
So the oldest of Gen Z are about 24, 25 years old now. They're the most educated of all generations, a full 57% of them who are within college age range are in college. They are the most diverse of all the generations, and almost half of them identify as a racial or ethnic minority. Here's what else is true. This generation is plagued by anxiety, depression. Unfortunately, we've all seen headlines that make us sad, with a full 7 out of 10 of them saying, yes, anxiety, depression is a major issue for my generation and for my peers. And here's what's more about them socially. They idolize influencers on social media. They inhale twice the amount of video content than other generations. They have the attention span of a gnat. If I can't get it in 8 seconds, I'm gonna be hard pressed to get it at all. Almost 3/4 of them want to start their own business. Inspires me. They're entrepreneurial. And many of those that want to start their own business want to start nonprofits that focus on societal issues. And they love brands that take a stand on social issues that they believe in, that they are moved by. And they have values that are really very much pegged around diversity, authenticity, advocacy. Those things are important to them. So I started to realize these young people are all around me. And I began to observe them because admittedly at first I was confused by them and frustrated by them, and I didn't understand them. I also began to see that young people were having these bold voices in the media, right? Greta Thunberg, she is the environmental activist who at 17 years old stood in front of UN leaders and pounded her fists and said, I am tired of your hopefulness. I need you to feel what I feel. I need you to feel the panic that I feel about our environment. I need you to wake up and change this situation. Amanda Gorman's words at the inauguration were compelling. We know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left with, better than the one we were left with. It compelled me, got me right in the belly. And I started to put together all of these observations that I was having about these young people and how inspired I was, how nervous I was for them, because the world is very complicated. Lots of big things that need attention, right? With a capital A. And could they take it on? We isolate them, we manage them as opposed to lead them, and we put bubble wrap around them. You think about things that certainly people my age and older had in their lives, high school jobs, right? Scooping ice cream. You learn things besides scooping ice cream when you're young and you operate with business owners. Very few, this was shocking to me, very few go on dates. I remember going on a lot of dates. And the things you learn by doing that, right? And the relationships that you find yourself in. Couple it with this. Entry-level jobs are fast, they're going away. Technology is making them obsolete. And over the next 10 years, 40% of what are entry-level jobs now are going to be gone. It's going to force our young people to have skills that are sort of beyond, they're going to be forced to rise up in different ways because the opposite end of the spectrum is happening. As of 2009, there's been a 60% increase in the need for entry-level jobs to have highly cognitive work. That's reasoning, that's strategic thinking, that's storytelling. This is what is happening in the world, all the while Our young people need our help in the things that Lauren and I have described here. Here are things that I see that we could be doing. Invite these young people to take risks. I mean big risks. There is so much learning that happens so fast when you're invited to take big risks, and let them fail. And then dissect it with them. There'll be all sorts of uncomfortable. Why did it happen? What could you have done? Don't give them the answers. Make them puzzle it through. Let them fail. Give them control over as many things as you could possibly give them control over. Let them own it, but also let them own the accountability and the reward for what you're giving them control over. Ask them to tell you what their values are. What are your values and why? Okay, you say that one of your values is humor. How does that play out? If I asked your teachers, how would they see it? How would they see it? You value diversity. How does that show up in the way you conduct yourself at work, at school? Make them out loud it. Puzzle it through.
First of all, I invite you to be endlessly curious. And I mean endlessly and insatiably curious. As children, we are annoyingly curious, right? Just ask your parents. Ask your grade school teachers. Until about age 10, our brains are the most absorbent of all of our lives. Think about how much you learned at that stage of your life. And then somewhere along the line, we stop asking questions, we stop being curious in favor of having lots of opinions, lots of perspectives, and that's good. It's important to have perspectives, but consider being that annoying kid again. Bring back your childhood habit of asking questions. What's this? Why? Why not? How? When? The second invitation I want to extend to you as you head further into your dash time is this. Be big. Take up space. No matter what you choose to do, an electrical lineman, a Navy officer, an athletic trainer, an Olympic shooter, auto technician, an entrepreneur, a barber, a mother, a father, no matter your path in life, be big. And so, class of 2023, I recap. Be curious, be big, and take care of yourself. I want to end with one of my favorite quotes. It's actually from an Oil of Olay advertisement that I saw many years ago when I was about your age. I cut it out of the magazine, and I put it up on my refrigerator, and it followed me well into my 30s, and it goes like this. How could you know when you were 18 and impossibly sexy that time would teach you something, that age is not a loss, but an exchange of love for lust, grace for foolishness, wisdom for youth. And it will seem a very unfair trade, not for the adult, but for the kid. Enjoy every minute of your dash journey in 2023. Light the world up. Thank you.